What's up, friends? You may be wondering what I'm leaning on, and that, my friends, is a big box of vegan food. So I haven't done one of these in literally freaking months. I don't even know how many, because I've kind of been like a guru chefy foodie recently, like actually trying to cook and do new things, which is totally not the old Tiana. I'm like definitely evolving into a better vegan, but I don't know, I just like saw some ads for this, Green Chef is what it's called, and I was just kind of like, you know what, why not try another one? So I didn't stick with any of the ones in the past because they're just very pricey and I don't spend that much on groceries in general. But the first box is always discounted, like always. And in the past, I can't even remember which ones I've tried. It's been literally so long. But I know I've tried Hungry Root was one, Sunbasket was another, and there was at least one or two more that I've tried as well. But Green Chef is not fully vegan, they just have a vegan option. They basically have like every dietary option that you can like click on, but for like if you're just like a normal like meat eater, you have a lot more options to choose from week by week. But for vegans, they have exactly 3 meals that you get. It does change every week, but you don't get to like choose your meals for the week. It's like there's 3 vegans, so you're getting those 3 vegan. So what are those 3 vegan this week? First one is a tamari tofu bowl. Now I have been obsessed with noodles and like Asian style food and peanut sauce recently, so this one I'm probably most excited for. So there's 2 servings per each meal, which makes this whole thing 6 meals. And that first meal is 730 calories, which is actually a lot, which is another reason why I don't really like stick to these meal plans, because I like to have like lower calorie foods rather than meals that are 700 calories. So the second meal is an acorn squash. I don't know how to say this very well. How many of my videos literally say that? Like I cannot read. I think it's like bolognese, B-O-L-O-G-N-E-S-E. I'm literally embarrassing. And then the final one is a cauliflower power bowl, which also looks amazing. This one's slightly lower calories, which is great, so it's 580. Now let's just like open this fish. I'm gonna use my keys. Smart girly. This is actually so heavy too. While I'm opening this, I'll let you know that it is a weekly delivery, but you can skip any week you want or cancel like hassle-free. Well, they say hassle-free. I'm sure they try to sell you up or whatever. What the heck? Oh, got it. But I just ordered one and I already skipped next week's just because I probably already know I won't stick with this unless I like love it that much. But why not try it out for fun and for some different meals and for anyone else who has more money than I do who's actually considering sticking with a vegan meal kit. Okay, so for a 2-person plan, there's no such thing as like a 1-person plan. I have 6 meals in 1 box that's supposed to come weekly, and the actual price is $78.93, but I got it for $40 off because it was my first order, which makes my total for this box only at like $38. So for $40, getting 6 meals, that's actually not bad at all. Like less than $10 per meal is like not bad. I mean, unless you're buying groceries, then it should be a lot less than that. This is some weird insulation we got going on. Some ice packs. Ooh, those are freezing. Here's our acorn squash for that second meal. There's a lot going on here. Organic green kale. Fun fact, I've never bought kale. I've had it in like random restaurant meals, but I've never done it myself. Is this kale too? Yep, more kale. Probably because it's like 2 meals. They split it up for me already. Also, I hope I don't mess this one up. So when I got Hungry Root, I used like everything every time, and like if there was overlapping ingredients between different meals, I didn't realize it and would like use it all for one, if that makes sense. So I kind of fudged up. Okay, so this is everything for the acorn squash. Okay, that's actually good to know right there that my ice pack must have broken. I have like some water on these paper bags. I think everything in here, actually let's just open it. Yeah, so everything in here is in its own plastic, which is good, so those didn't get wet. Also harmful to our earth. Go green, mofos. But yeah, everything's in here is wrapped individually, so I guess it's okay that that got wet, but it's still kind of annoying and soggy. This is everything I need for the cauliflower power bowl. And then this is, they sent me the wrong thing. It says steaks with mushroom sauce. If they didn't do my tofu bowl, I will literally cry. That's the #1 thing that I wanted. Maybe they mean like tofu steak? No, because it's not mushroom. I bet I'll get another free box from this, so maybe it's not a bad thing. I don't know. And then just ice. They had to have fudged up. Oh my god. And you're seeing it real time on camera. Let me open it. I'm nervous. Oh. I'm so dramatic. It's the tofu meal. False alarm, everyone. Okay, well, let's move to the kitchen and cook all this up and see how hard or easy it actually is. Okay, so we moved over to the kitchen and I want to make all of these at once just to like meal prep them and so I can like show you all at once. I don't think that the box came with like its own like instruction list, so I just pulled it up like what I was showing you online because it has all of the like instructions here too. Okay, so the cauliflower bowl and the tofu bowl both take 25 minutes, but the acorn squash takes 45, so I guess we'll start there. Wow, this looks real complicated. Okay, preheat oven to 425. Got it. So last time I cooked, I made the fire alarm go off, so I'm super nervous it might happen again. Especially cooking at 425, like that's freaking hot. So if you now hear the noise in the background, it's my like stove fan thing, because I ain't trying to risk another fire catastrophe. So, acorn bish. Then I need to cut the acorn squash lengthwise, remove the seeds, and dribble the insides with some cooking oil, and roast for 30 to 35 minutes. Okay, that's gonna take forever. Oh, this is actually like frozen. Legit, from that ice, this is frozen. I'm gonna try to microwave it and see what happens. Okay, so microwaving it actually kind of worked. It's a lot softer. Ugh, I hate cutting things. Okay, I'm sweating, I have to go change. Okay, I changed it to my favorite Joe Boxer shirt and I feel much better. So let's try to continue this, I guess. It was still kind of hard to cut, but it's much softer now, so I'm going to scoop out this gross like seed things. It's literally like a pumpkin. Okay, that was literally so easy. It took me like 20 seconds each or less. Or like if I do spaghetti squash, it literally takes me like 5 minutes each to scoop out the middle. That was so easy. It all came in like one clump. And then it says to put oil on it, but I'm trying to like avoid real oil, so I'm just gonna use cooking spray. And I don't think I'll have to cook these very long. I think it'll get like browner from being in the oven, like a little like bronzed or whatever. But they're actually pretty soft from the microwave already, so I'm probably only gonna leave them in there for like 10-ish minutes. Okay, and then while that's cooking, we can move on to the rest of the ingredients. So I'm supposed to chop the onion, which I hate doing. I should have waited to do this till tomorrow because my dad's coming and he would have loved to help. And then I'm supposed to dice this. I don't know how to cut it. It's pretty sad. Ooh, my eyes. Ow! They actually sting so bad. Oh my god. It's dangerous because you want to close your eyes, but you're using a knife. Do they make like cooking goggles for this or something? Oh, I literally can't. Ugh. And then I cut the celery the same way, just chop it up. My eyes are still burning, by the way. Oh my god, I literally can't. I need to take a break. This is terrible already. I'm on meal 1. Okay, good enough for the celery. And then mince only 1 of the garlic cloves. It comes with 2. Don't you just like smush it with a knife, I think? Again, good enough. Okay, strain and rinse the kidney beans. Never heard of this brand. It's Organics Green Valley. Like beans in a bag instead of a can. Interesting. Okay, probably good enough. And then roughly chop the walnuts. I'm just gonna leave them in the bag and try to push on them with the knife too. Does roughly mean like kind of, or roughly like be rough, you know? I feel like they're already pretty chopped, you know? Okay, and then make mushroom broth. So finely chop the dried shiitake mushroom. There's literally like 2 in here. And then just add a cup of warm water in a bowl and let it soak. Oh, this is really dry. Like hard to cut, chewy dry. I'd rather just like use purchased veggie broth, TBH, but here I am. It's easier to rip, actually. This is gonna sound gross, especially for a vegan to say, but this reminds me of leather. like literally ripping up dried out skin. Alright, 1 cup of warm water, and then I think I just let that sit. Then I go to the sauce. Instead of oil, I'm gonna use veggie broth. It's just like organics brand, nothing special. Shoot. I'm going to literally like push this into the bowl. Okay, so we have the garlic, celery, and onion in here. And then it says to add in my, I think it says this, yeah, rosemary sage spice blend. And then salt and pepper, and cook this for like 2 minutes stirring it. Make crostini? Oh. I thought this bread was just gonna be for like dipping or something, but we're actually making stuff with it. I'm supposed to cut this into like 1-inch thick slices. So it kind of looks like bruschetta bread. And then put them on a baking sheet until they're browned for like 5 minutes, and then put my other garlic clove on top of each slice and drizzle with olive oil. I really don't want to use the oil. I'm still gonna bake this. I'm gonna put this one in my toaster oven instead, because it's really not a lot. And I'm just gonna spray it with oil ahead of time instead of like putting oil on it after. And this is like what the bread looks like. I'm just gonna place it all over this, I guess. Maybe I'll just like spray on top a little bit too. Okay, now we're gonna stir our sauce a little bit more. Okay, and then in a separate pot, I'm supposed to put these sauces, right? Which is organic balsamic vinaigrette and agave. Oh, actually just that one. Am I supposed to use this ever? This is probably with the sauce, right? Yeah, okay, I never finished the sauce. I'm supposed to add the beans and this, and then keep freaking stirring, and then add the mushroom broth, and then the walnuts. Let's do that. And while that's sitting for a couple minutes, I'm gonna check on the acorn squash. Okay, I'm gonna leave it for just a couple more minutes as I finish this sauce. I'm gonna add in the walnuts. And this mushroom broth doesn't look like anything but mushrooms and water, to be honest. I don't know if it's supposed to be like darker, but I'm gonna pour that in, I guess. The sauce looks real good, by the way. Okay. And then it says for that balsamic one, this dressing, I'm supposed to add this to water in a small pot, but I already have the sauce in my small pot. So to be completely candid, I think it's totally fine if I just microwave this. It's definitely pretty soft. Oh yeah, this looks done to me. I mean, just like yellow, but you can tell it's like squishy. Ooh, did you see that steam? So I'm gonna set this to the side to cool off. Stir my sauce a little bit more. Yum, that tastes good. And I'm also gonna like flip over my bread. Is this like cinnamon baguettes or something? It smells sweet in a good way. Ooh, hot. Okay, the balsamic vinaigrette is hot, as it should be. I'm gonna eat the butts of my bread as I'm waiting. I guess I'll just keep stirring. Okay, the sauce is warm and looks delish, so I don't want to tip it too much or I'll spill. But I'm gonna like put it off to the side to cool off for a little bit, and then I'm just gonna pour it in this. Hopefully it'll fit. I might need a bigger Tupperware actually. We'll see. It's always a game. Okay, so like I read earlier, I'm supposed to take the second piece of garlic and mince it over the pieces of bread when I take it out. But I truly like don't want to do that. Like, I mean, I like garlic bread and all, but like chunks of garlic does not seem like appealing to me. So I'm just gonna like scratch that. But apparently this balsamic vinaigrette like sauce that I heated up is to drizzle over the bread, not to mix into the sauce. So I didn't even really need to heat it up today because I don't really want to eat this today. So I'm probably just gonna put it in a small Tupperware. I might like try one piece of bread with it. OMG, y'all, that could not have been a more perfect fit. Dude, that is amazing. This literally looks like chili, like beans with the onion and celery. Besides the walnuts, that's kind of throwing me off. I guess I don't know this like original Italian dish, but basically chili. Okay, I've had the bread in for like 10 minutes now and flipped it and everything. It's kind of crisp, but it's just not like, I thought it would brown, but I guess I didn't add oil. I just sprayed it a little bit, so I guess it makes sense. It still smells so sweet to me. It's kind of odd. I have like a broken small piece right here, so I'm gonna try this in the vinaigrette. Just because I'm curious. I'm gonna let you know if it's good or not. Oh, I love balsamic vinaigrette anyway, so I guess I'm like biased and I didn't really need to try it. It's more that I just wanted it. I it's delish. So I'm not gonna like plate this and present it to you guys and show you guys how like pretty it is. I'm just gonna like try a taste of it to A, see what it tastes like if it's good or not, which I assume they all are. B, I just wanna show you if it's like actually easy or not. And then C, I want to meal prep them, so it's like, obviously you order it to eat it throughout the week and you don't always want to cook every night, so it's kind of nice getting it all done on one day and then putting it in the fridge. So we're seeing if this is like meal prep worthy. This is going to be the hard part. So this is the squash. First I want to just try a little bit of it by taking a scoop. What you're supposed to do is pour the sauce into like the squash hole. And that's that meal, and then just drizzle the bread with the balsamic, and that's like your side. But because I don't want to pour all of this into the squash right now, I'm just going to kind of take a little spoonful like this, and then try to scrape a little bite from the squash. So this is what it looks like close up. It almost looks like spaghetti squash, like kind of stringy. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. This reminds me though, that like this is something I would never make on my own. Like it reminds me of something that I would honestly buy from a restaurant. So if you're into like more complicated specialty meals, then this would be for you. But if you're more into like, hey, pour some pasta in a bowl and like some sauce, then like this probably isn't. But it's fun for like a one-time thing. AKA, well, I'll probably cancel. Wow, I really like that squash. I have this huge container I'm gonna try to put these squash in, I guess. I don't know really what else to do with it. Oh yeah, that fits. I could actually, that might be a good idea. I don't know if it'll fit completely, but I'm wondering if I put these like upside down like this and then pour the sauce into it, so it's kind of like soaking in the sauce. I'm gonna go for it. Maybe a bad idea, but I don't know, it seems like a good idea to me. That way it can like marinate in the sauce. All right, yay, we finished meal one and it was really good, honestly. So let's move on to the tamari tofu noodle bowl. Actually, I forgot to time the first one. It said 45 minutes and I think that was like probably pretty accurate. So for this tofu noodle bowl, oh, this one seems like a lot of ingredients. I guess the last one was too. Huge carrots. Lots of green shit. Okay. So first I need to open and drain the tofu and then cut it in half and pat dry with a paper towel. Sounds easy. All right, I cut it and now I'm just kind of rolling it in this paper towel to dry it off. Season it with salt and pepper. And then pour most of the ginger sesame tamari sauce onto it, but reserve about 2 teaspoons for later. Okay. Is that 2 teaspoons? Good enough. Okay, then I'm supposed to like flip it around on this and then let it marinate for about 8 minutes, occasionally turning it. Next is the carrots. Cut off the ends and peel. It's gonna kind of go like this over the garbage. Okay, I did a really shitty job, but I don't really care. Oh, this is what the kale is for. Oh, there are 2 different kinds of kale. So this is called lacinato kale? I don't know. It says remove the center stems and throw them away. Roll leaves into a large cigar. I'm confused. And slice in 1/4 inch ribbons. So I just like pull the center out. How do you roll it like a cigar? I'm just kind of chopping it, to be honest. This is probably wrong. They're not staying rolled. I couldn't tell that this one's way more complicated. I'm literally just peeling the inside instead. Ugh. See, even that's not easy. And then chopping this shit. Seems to be like never ending. Okay, to me it's easier just to break this than it is to cut it, so. Okay, and then I'm actually supposed to chop the carrots too. Well, it says to use a grater, which like not every household has that, like a cheese grater, especially someone who doesn't eat cheese. Okay, chopping those was not fun, and I couldn't even get them small. And it was like an arm workout. Like, I guess at least I'm getting stronger, but I don't like that. Not fun. Okay, snap peas. Supposed to cut these in half at an angle. I love snap peas. Okay, that one at least wasn't bad. Then dice the red peppers and the scallions. Okay. The red bell pepper. Oh, they already like halved it for me. That's nice. Destem the cilantro and roughly chop the leaves. I'd rather just use dried cilantro, but I hear the fresh is supposed to be way better, so here I am. Now I add the snap peas, the bell pepper, and most of the scallions to a bowl with the carrots and kale, and then put half of the peanut dressing on this and salt and pepper. I just realized I put all the scallions on here and accidentally said most. Hopefully that's no big deal. Okay, and then half the peanut dressing. I'm just gonna mix it up. Ooh, this just looks like a good salad right here that I could eat. Yum. Now the noodles. So in a bowl, some salt water, and then add the black rice pad thai noodles. I don't think I've ever had these, but I love pad thai. Okay, while that's about to boil, I'll wait for that to boil before I put the noodles in. It says cook tofu, so remove it from the marinade, let the excess marinade drip off, but keep the marinade. Pat dry with a paper towel again. Heat some oil in a medium nonstick pan over medium-high heat, and add the tofu. Cook for 4 to 5 minutes on each side or until crispy. So we're just gonna use this pan. I'm just gonna spray it. Add the tofu on. Oh shoot, I was supposed to pat dry first. Good thing I remembered. I'm literally like wrapping it in paper towel. I hope that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, so then after everything cooks, you're supposed to plate it by putting the noodles on the bowl first, then these veggies, then the tofu, and then you can drizzle some of the extra marinade onto it, as well as the cilantro and any extra scallions. So I feel like that's no point in like saving it to put on top when I can just put it in a salad now, so that's what I'm gonna do. Because I would like mix up the whole bowl anyway. Like, I'm just excited for this part. This salad looks amazing. I do wish I chopped the carrots smaller, because that's not always like the best taste in a salad, like a giant piece of something. But the peanut sauce and the marinade, like, just this itself is so good. So the noodles and the tofu, it's gonna be amazing. This one seems like harder and longer to make in my opinion, but I don't know if it's just because it's the second one, so it feels like I've been doing this forever, you know? Because I have been doing it forever. Gotta be honest, this is like the best I've ever done with tofu. It's like super golden and crispy, but I also feel like the inside's not gonna be, like, because they're such big chunks, so I might end up cutting them smaller and like doing it again whenever I actually eat these. But for now, I'm Gucci. Yay, the purple noodles are finally done. Super hot. So I'm gonna pour those into my Tupperware first. Shake it up a little bit. Layer the salad on top. And then finally, the tofu on top of that. So this should last me more than a couple days, I feel. This is like a 3-day bowl. Especially because that tofu block is huge. But I have to try a bite, obviously. Wow, I knew this one would probably be my favorite. I want to try a bite of the tofu with it too, though. See, this is actually doable and something I could see myself actually making on a day-to-day basis, like buying it myself. Hey, this one is a 10 out of 10. Definitely my favorite. Well, I know I've only made 2 of the 3, so that doesn't really like count yet, but like I could sit here and keep eating. But I'm gonna move on. Okay, for the third and final recipe, I have the oven preheating on 400 degrees. This is the cauliflower bowl one, by the way. And then the next step is to cook the quinoa. So it's organic rainbow quinoa. So I need to boil a cup of slightly salted water first. Okay, added water to the stove. As I'm waiting for that to boil, I'm gonna see what else I can get done. So the quinoa will go in there, as well as this organic vegetable bouillon. Is that how you say it? It's like those like flavor cubes. So while we're waiting on that, we'll prep the cauliflower. Just cut it into bite-sized pieces and chop the pecans. Place the cauliflower into a medium bowl with some olive oil, salt, pepper, and the turmeric, and coat it all up. Okay, I'm actually just gonna break it, not cut it. It's very breakable. Again, I don't want to use oil, so I'm gonna use a little bit of veggie broth, and if that doesn't work, I'll use like spray oil. And then it has this little packet, cute little packet of organic turmeric. Then I guess I'm just gonna mix it all up. Okay, my water is finally boiling, so I'm gonna put the quinoa in that little cube in there. Okay. put the cauliflower, once I did all this mixing up, I put it on a baking sheet and roast for 10 minutes. And dump these suckers on here. This reminds me of like the buffalo cauliflower wings people make. That's what it looks like. Even though it's obvi turmeric. Okay, I never did chop the pecan, so I guess I should do that now. Okay, that's chopped good enough for me. Now we're gonna use this kale, which is just like plain kale, I guess, green kale. Smaller than the last one, it looks like. Actually, they're just like fluffier. The other ones were just like more like one big leaf. This has like more curves. I don't know. Okay, remove the stems again, and then slice this. Oh, I actually eat the stems. I'm just breaking the leaves again. I think it's so much easier. This is a lot of kale, by the way. Okay, kale is chopped. Now, cut off ends of the shallot and discard the peel. Like, is this lengthwise? Or this, maybe? I went with option B. Alright, good enough, or I'm gonna start crying again. Whew, my eyes are burning! Roughly chopped the dried cranberries. These don't need chopped. Whatever. So quinoa's still cooking. It's supposed to get like really fluffy and absorb all the water, and it's still pretty like watery right now. I'm gonna use a big pot. It says a pan, but I feel like you need like a wok pan for like this kale. I know it'll shrink, but it'll start out big, so I'm just gonna grab like a big pot. Actually, I have this pan with like a couple inches here, so maybe that'll work. I'm supposed to add the onion and the kale stems first. I wonder why the first recipe made me get rid of the stems, but not this one. Put a little bit of broth, so it doesn't stick. So once those are soft, I just add the kale leaves and the cranberries and a little bit of water. And now I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. Quinoa seems to have like absorbed all the water, so I just turned off the heat. I think I'll remove it from heat soon, but I need to check on the cauliflower. Almost kind of forgot. Okay, looks good to me. It says I need to put it back in the bowl. This color is literally the same exact as those like honey mustard pretzels. They're so good. Okay, now I add the nuts and maple syrup to that. Random. Okay, now I'm gonna remove the quinoa from heat and add the leaves to the other thing. I feel like it was easier to bring it over here. Never done this before, but feeling good, feeling confident. It just has to like shrink. And the cranberries go in this. Which is also odd to me. I didn't know that cranberries were like cooked ever, but I mean, I'm down for whatever. So once I remix this cauliflower with the syrup and the nuts, I just bake it again. So since the quinoa is done, I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in the Tupperware now, just to get one thing out of the way. Okay, the kale looks wilted enough for me, so I'm supposed to add this in a separate bowl and mix just this with the nutritional yeast. But instead, I'm just gonna add it with the quinoa already and add all of it with the nutritional yeast. Why not? It's all one like meal anyway. It's definitely less pretty than how they plated it, but again, I'm meal prepping it, so I don't really care. And now we're just waiting on the cauliflower, and that'll be the last piece for this one. All right, it was in for about 7 minutes, so I think it's done, and I'm just going to scoop it on top of all of this. This one, kind of like the first one, is a very interesting, more like intricate meal. The tofu is like the easiest, I think, to like mock on my own, but I have a feeling that this one's gonna be like a really good taste, like the maple syrup with the turmeric. Ooh, and we have organic herb tahini miso sauce. Sounds delish. And I'll mix this right in as well. I just tried the dressing, it's really good. It's like a yogurt style. This like so much reminds me of like a holiday side. Like I don't know if you can see the colors, but it looks like a very like green, red, purpley thing. But I'm gonna try a bite with kale and cauliflower. I have to blow on this, it's really hot, as you can probably see the steam. Oops. Wow. I love this so much. I don't know which I like better, this or the tofu one, but this one is so unique. Like I've never tasted anything like it. Wow. All right, and that is my last meal prep of the 3. I think to make all 3 of the meals, which is actually like 6 meals or whatever, probably more for me, It took me like 2 hours-ish total, which isn't bad. That's probably like a little bit over your like average meal prep time, but still not bad at all. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put those in my fridge for the week and move on to something else for the rest of my night. Overall though, I do feel like this was one of the easier ones to like follow along with, and they were very fresh ingredients and very good taste. Honestly, as I already admitted in the beginning, I don't really want to pay the full like $80 per week for these meals. This being like $40-ish is totally worth it to me for these 6 meals, but considering that's a one-time thing, it's worth it for the one time for me, but not for all the time. But obviously most people have more money than I do, so if you're into that and actually could pay that, then definitely go for it. I think that this is awesome, and I'm so happy that meal kits are now providing vegan options. I love the like full vegan ones only even better, because I love that they like refuse to even serve animal products, but I also really appreciate the ones that are all around trying to suit everyone's needs. So first meal I'm like with the acorn squash, just because it's kind of more of like a chili, but I'm not really familiar with the original Italian dish like that, so I don't know like what to compare it to or anything. Like obviously I'll eat it and enjoy it, but the other two are so much more impressive and better to me. Either way, I'm eating it all, and I'm really excited and happy how these turned out. Wasn't too difficult, although there was a lot of like veggie chopping. It'd be nice if the carrots came like chopped. That would be like over the top amazing, but I'm not complaining. Kind of am, but whatever. Okay, well that's all I have for you. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Let me know if you've tried this meal kit or any other ones. I know there's like tons of delivery services out there, and let me know how your experience was. I would love to hear about it and maybe try another one in the near future. Okay, thanks for watching. If you like this video, you can click subscribe below, the little red button, and possibly check out some of my social media accounts that are also in the description below. Thanks guys, and I will see you next video. Bye.